Is that John? Is he calling in?
No, that's City Hall, isn't it?
Oh. So there's just 4 of us here?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Oh, okay.
He left his iPad, so. We good? All right. We'll go ahead and call to order the meeting for the mayor and the board of aldermen for December 1st, 2020. It's hard to believe it's already December 1st, but next item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. We got several additions to the agenda, starting with one on the consent agenda for D, which is request permission to allow an off-duty OPD officer to provide security for the Holly Jolly holiday events. 10A will adopt 2020 tax roll as provided by the Lafayette County Tax Assessor. 10B is a resolution for refunding of the SRF loans in water and sewer. And 20A, which is request permission for the mayor to sign a contract with Capital Recovery Systems for the collection of delinquency, municipal court fines, and assessments. With those additions, do I hear a motion to adopt the agenda?
Jason, I think we have a deletion, 21?
Yes, and a deletion on 21. Thank you, Janice.
And 8A, the resignation from the municipal election commission.
I said, did I not say that? 8A, which is, excuse me, request permission to accept the resignation of Jim Stevens from the Municipal Elections Commission and announce the vacancy. With those corrections, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll move you adopt the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Mayor's report. First, John Morgan is a little late. He just contacted me and said he'll be a little late, but he is on his way, so we're going to go ahead and begin without him. Robin is out of town. She is attending an award ceremony tomorrow morning on the coast where she will receive the Governor's Tourism Leadership Award at the Governor's Conference on Tourism. The 2 trees in front of City Hall were lit on Friday during the Downtown Square Alliance annual Christmas open house. I think it was a big success. The square looks absolutely beautiful. The Christmas parade will be Monday, December 7th at M-Trade Park from 5:30 to 8. Come drive by the parade and see Santa. There are still spaces available for those who want to set up a float. We are excited to announce that Aubrey Armstrong will be the Grand Marshal of the Christmas Parade. Aubrey goes to Oxford High School and is Mississippi's Children's Miracle Network Hospital champion and serves as a spokesperson for Mississippi Batten's Children's Hospital. So congratulations, Aubrey. Please visit the Visit Oxford website to see all the fun holiday events, including holiday drive-in movies, ice skating on the square, carriage rides, and Holly Jolly holidays on the square December 11th through the 13th. And on Friday night, the Oxford Chargers beat Clinton to win the North Half Championship. They will travel to Jackson on Friday to play for the state championship against Oak Grove for the 2nd year in a row. Good luck to the Chargers. Game time is at 7 o'clock, and you can listen on 95.5. On Saturday, the Ole Miss Rebels had a big victory, and we're proud that the Egg Bowl trophy is back where it belongs in Oxford, Mississippi, and Ole Miss. Congratulations to the Rebels and the football team and to Coach Kiffin. Remember, the Ugly Christmas Sweater Contest is next meeting, which is December 15th, so don your best ugly Christmas outfit, sweater, or whatever you would like, and we're going to have a little contest. So that is the mayor's report for today. Next item on the agenda is to authorize the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting for November 17th of 2020.
Move we approve the minutes.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Next is authorize the approval of accounts for all city departments.
We pay the bills.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The consent agenda with the addition of D, which is the request of permission to accept, to request permission to allow the Oxford Police Department officer to provide security with Holly Jolly events.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Request permission to stream amplified holiday music in the downtown parking area. Jimmy Allgood.
This came about actually several years ago at the mayor's request, wanted me to investigate into this, and I found a system, and this year through CARES Act money, the Tourism Council was able, the Visit Oxford was able to purchase a system with tourism money and with the CARES Act money for tourism and everything. So we have the system, it's installed. A lot of you have heard it, if not all of you, and everything. So just requesting permission to stream holiday music during business hours from 10 to 8 throughout the square area.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Jimmy, you just want to stay there because we're going to run through this. Authorize the reappointment of Daniel Sparks to the Downtown Parking Advisory Commission.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? 8A is request permission to accept the resignation of Jim Stevens from the Municipal Elections Commission and to announce a vacancy. We appreciate Jim's service in many years. We do have a vacancy, and if you are interested in serving in that capacity, if you would, just email cityhall@oxfordms.net or contact the mayor's office.
Can we get a motion on that item, please?
Yes, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you all. Number 9 is discuss COVID-19, current restrictions and guidelines, and the current executive orders. Jimmy?
Okay, you've got a sheet, and I think Chris and them are gonna put on the display. This is a breakdown for the past 8 days as far as our numbers and the representative counties that we've been following also. Today, the state had 1,485 cases, 1 new death. Our numbers were we're at 3,382 total cases, with an increase of 33 cases for today. Since last Tuesday, we have had 5 deaths in Lafayette County. 2 of those deaths were from earlier in November and were picked up during death certificate review, but 3 of the deaths were within the past week or so from that. That's our numbers. If anyone has any questions on them, I've got a couple of other issues with the guidelines I'd like to discuss real quick.
Okay.
Jimmy, the active cases.
Active cases as of yesterday, they had not come out for today. Pull that up real quick. Yesterday there were 352, which is high. It is not our highest. I think our highest was in the 440s range back in July after the 4th of July celebration when we saw that spike. But this spike on the active cases is not decreasing. We're seeing an increase every day of it. So we'll keep monitoring it and see when we start to see a drop off. What concerns me is we may not see a drop off, because we just had the Thanksgiving holiday. So over the next 2 weeks, we expect another spike and increase in cases because of the holidays.
Okay.
We have been contacted by a lot of the private gyms and apartment complexes and condo units and those types. Want some clarification. We had said that our normal commercial gyms are open up to a certain capacity, but they have people there monitoring the gyms and cleaning and sanitizing the equipment, where these private gyms and apartment complexes and condos do not. They're not manned, they're not being sanitized. And in fact, the confusion is to the point where a lot of the managers have not even opened their gyms. But I'd just like to ask the board for some clarification to give them some guidance on, can they open, do we not open them? How do we want to address the private gyms?
Well, I think what we said the last time we discussed this, that we were not going to allow it unless they had an attendant.
Unless they had an attendant. And that is the word that I have been putting out to them, but we're getting a lot of calls all of a sudden from them. Now, unofficially, a lot of the managers don't want to open them up because they don't want that responsibility and they don't have the personnel to sanitize the equipment and monitor the gym.
I think it's safe to say that, I mean, I can't speak for the board, but I think we're going to continue with the course that we've been going.
So the private.
I don't think we ever specify between private and public. I think it's basically, if you're a gym and you wanna do this, this is what you gotta do.
You have to have an attendant available to sanitize. Okay, and that's the word we'll keep putting out to them then. So,
Go ahead, Bob.
Where we are right now is consistent with the governor's executive order. And I'm not looking at that order and know what it says, but that's where we are. We don't have, and I think the mayor said this at our last regular meeting, that we don't have those guidelines. They're not in place.
Right.
We are exactly the same as the governor's executive order, so I'd have to look and see what it says.
with two exceptions.
The one was, we had the mask mandate in place before Lafayette County was included in our executive order 1531, and we had further restrictions on
The
Gatherings.
number of people.
inside and outside.
Social gatherings that were
Right.
social distancing if possible, and we're 10 and 25, and under the 1531, we were placed at 10 and 50, I believe.
So when we went away from our guidelines by following the governors, then that opened up the gyms to
Well, I
whatever
think
the
we
governor
just,
said.
I think we, like Morgan said, we just, you know, if they have an attendee, they can open it up, but if not, then it's gotta remain closed.
Do we need to vote on that?
I mean, I'm not sure what the board is wanting to do here, but
I think the
the
board's
board
gonna
has
do
been very
nothing.
clear that you weren't doing anything any different than the governor's order. I would not vote to do something different than the governor's order tonight, unless that's what you want to do. If y'all want to set out a guideline for a specific business tonight, you need to be very clear, and it might should be on the agenda, needs to amend so that people have noticed it.
I don't think anybody's
I don't
talking
think
about
there's
doing
any
anything right
change.
here.
No,
Okay.
no change.
But the governor's order
Then I would
is
not vote.
wide open.
I don't know that we're following the governor's order on the gyms. Ours may be more stringent, is it?
We changed everything to
Exactly the
governor's order.
order.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Well,
Yes.
then we just need to leave everything.
Leave everything
as is.
Yeah.
as is. They will have to have an attendant if they want to open up.
Okay.
But even, I was about to say,
That's not the,
Oh, it doesn't require attendance. That's right. It doesn't require an attendant.
The governor does not require attendance.
Right now, the gym falls under a general business, which means 75% capacity and hand sanitizer at the door and signs.
Okay, and we can still leave our requirements the way they are?
we don't have any.
We don't have,
any
our
requirements.
guidelines, have not been in place for about 3 meetings.
Right.
Yeah, we can leave our requirements like they are, but our requirements like they are is the governor's order. So our requirements on
That's
gyms, like it stands today, is 75% capacity. You have to wear a mask unless you're exercising. If you're exercising, you don't have to wear a mask. That's, the attendants are not required. That's the way our orders, that's the way our policy is today.
And I think the mayor at the last regular meeting, not at the work session, she said, I just want to remind the board that our separate guidelines are no longer in effect. We have exactly what the executive order and any enabling directives they've given related to it, but we don't have anything any different right now.
With the two exceptions.
Except
With the two exceptions.
Yeah.
What's the will of the board?
I don't think we can make a decision tonight without placing something on the
No,
agenda.
I don't either. Okay. All right, we'll move forward. We do have OPC here that wants to discuss something. Jared?
Well, I've got one other item
Okay.
that deals with OPC though. It's about the walking track.
Okay.
The mayor's office has had several calls from people that are uncomfortable walking on the track because masks are not being required. And with the crowd, and I say crowd, with the close contact up there, the board voted last time, I believe, not to require masks. But now we're getting some feedback from the people that want to use it that would like masks to be required while walking only on the track indoors at the activity center.
Yeah, you know, the problem is, you can walk 3 abreast there, and that's it. The track is not that wide. And when people pass each other without masks, I mean, you're saying, excuse me, and you're right there, right next to them, breathing on them. Once we got rid of mask mandate there, I stopped using the track. And I know a lot of other people did too.
Pope, with this just being an OPC policy change, we don't have
It
to.
is
Yeah,
OPC.
and that's your facilities,
Yeah.
you could make somebody wear masks to come to City Hall, I'm okay with that. Just the broader
Sure,
private facilities concern.
Yeah, I think it's a smart thing to do.
yeah.
So we don't need a motion or anything. We'll just, Jared, if you'll make sure that the masks are required for the walking track in the activity center from now on until we change that. All right. Is that it?
Okay, that's it.
All right, Jared with OPC, believe Bart has put a memorandum on everybody's table and some information from OPC, and they want to allow several small groups to start using the facilities. So Jared, if you'll.
Yes, sir. So currently we have four instructional programs going on outdoors. So they're using the Stone Park Pavilion and the tennis courts and the basketball courts at Rivers Hill up above Kroger. So as you can see, the numbers here on one of your information sheets, they're relatively small programs. The karate and fencing are the two that are currently using the Stone Park Pavilion. They do not overlap. Fencing is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And they have 4 participants and 1 instructor for a total of 5. And karate has a free karate clinic going on until December 19th. And they have 2 sessions, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. They have 14 participants registered with 1 instructor. And the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. session have 16 registered and 1 instructor. The youth basketball clinic, which is going on at the Rivers Hill basketball court outdoor, is 2 sessions as well. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. have 14 participants and 2 instructors. And the 11 a.m. to noon session have 10 participants and 2 instructors. Quick Start Tennis is the largest that we have. So that is once a week on Thursdays and will continue until December 17th. That's a 3:30 to 4:30 session, has 20 participants. And this is a youth class. And the 4:30 to 5:30 session has 20 participants as well, with 1 instructor. So what we're requesting is a movement of all of those into our old activity center facility. The only program that would overlap would be karate and youth basketball on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for that 1 hour, for a total of 33 people, which is still below the 25% capacity of 75 for that facility. And those would be taking place in different spaces. So the karate would be taking place in the old gymnastics room, that big old gymnastics room. And of course, the youth basketball clinic would be taking part on the basketball court there.
Okay.
Has karate got a door in and out? I mean, can they enter and exit?
There is one, yes, sir.
On the side. And then will you cap the numbers at a certain?
So these are current classes, like there is no registration for these going on.
Okay.
Is that what you're asking as
Yeah,
far as
like,
registration?
you got 20 for youth, or the Quick Start Tennis. I didn't know if, like, the karate, you were gonna cap it at a certain.
Right, so all these classes, registration is complete for all these classes.
Okay.
They've actually been going on since, some of them since October.
Okay,
I think it sounds like a pretty good plan.
perfect.
And I imagine your tennis will be outside anyway, not unless the weather's really
Yeah,
good. So-
you know, we've had one cold day, and today was beautiful, and all these classes could have been outside today. I'm really reluctant with the way our numbers are and the timing on this. You know, it's just in time for these kids to pass something around and then go home to grandma for Christmas. Sure. And I just think we need to be careful. We don't need to back up and allow more indoor things to happen, especially here where you're close to finishing the season. And you'll have some good days, and You know, just, I think you should just do the best you can to finish up outside.
Okay.
And
I also agree with, James, I think,
Janice, what do you think about, if they didn't have overlap, or if they, you think it's mainly just the inside?
yeah, you know, these kids are not, they're not in a bubble like the kids in classrooms at school. These kids come from all different places and gather together. So every time they get together, it's new, you know, new transmissions. And we're so close to having a vaccine and getting this thing under control. I just hate for us to do anything that's gonna cause more cases and potentially more deaths. Maybe I'm being overly cautious, I don't know, I don't think so. I think, you know, I'm trying to be prudent. I hate it for the kids, but I still think they can do it outside.
Yes, if I can submit to, they will be screened by staff when they come in, temperature checks and masking, unless currently involved in a vigorous activity.
Yeah, like karate, I'm not gonna vote to allow it, and I'm sorry, but I can't in good conscience do it.
I respect that.
Is there enough room for spacing?
I'm sorry, spacing, yes, sir. So on the sheet here, one of the items, you have your square footage. So at the top, the old gymnastics area, which is what I've got for karate and fencing both, the square footage is 2,688 square feet, so that can accommodate 42 people socially distanced at 8 feet apart. Of course, that's stationary, but there are, you know, fencing, by the nature of the program, they space out by swords and weapons, and there's only 4 participants in there. In karate, they can do some stationary activities as well.
Okay.
I would like to ask my fellow board members, before you make a decision on this, just ask yourself, is it necessary? You know, is it really necessary to bring these programs inside now for 2 or 3 weeks?
And Jared, I would like to ask, I'm not trying to be hard on you guys, but why did we just get this afternoon?
Because it was just brought
Because
up.
it was cold yesterday.
Yes,
Because what now?
because it was cold yesterday, it was brought up yesterday.
You know, I'm looking at this karate and fencing, I think could easily be done inside and social distance, and just by the nature of it, you know, you're apart from your participants, but the basketball and the tennis with the quantity, especially the tennis with the quantity of participants on both of those are the ones that give me concern, are the basketball and tennis.
I mean, just back to back, I mean, it's like, there's no spacing, I mean, if there was 30 minutes between them, it would help some, but you're actually dropping.
Between the sessions?
Yes.
Right.
I mean, right now, you're dropping 45, 50 people in one space. Are any of the parents coming with these people? I mean, you've got 4 and 5-year-olds, or 5 and 6-year-olds, 4 and 5-year-olds.
It's just a child-only class, so they could drop off outside.
I'm gonna make a motion that we not
And
do this.
And it ends in December 19th, so we got 3 weeks or whatever, okay.
Yep.
Yes,
2.5 weeks.
So we have a motion, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion does not carry. We appreciate you coming.
Okay, yeah, thank y'all.
Motion does carry.
Yeah, it does carry. Yeah, but the approval does not carry, sorry. Okay, we're gonna authorize the city clerk to direct Lynn Mead to disperse the annual draw from the Oxford Reserve and Trust, including the reimbursement for fees for the previous year. Ashley?
Yes, thank you. Board, we do this every year. It's our time for our annual disbursement from the Glen Mead Fund. It's approximately $887,000 plus about $15,000 in fees that will be reimbursed.
Okay, have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. 10A is to request permission to adopt the 2020 tax roll as provided by the Lafayette County Tax Assessor's Office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You didn't even give me time to tell you the good news. I mean, the
Oh, go ahead.
assessed value, for the city was, for total assessed value was up about 14 million. City assessed.
That's not good news. That means our taxes are going up.
Not necessarily. The city assessed value went up, by itself about 12 million. We added about 210 parcels of property, so it just, goes up a little bit. And I know next year is a reassessment year, so
Yeah, they've been
That
riding
is coming
around
up.
already.
All right, 10B is a request for permission to adopt a resolution authorizing and directing the issuance of combined water and sewer system revenue refunding bonds Series 2021 of the City of Oxford, Mississippi in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $4,575,000 for the purpose of currently refunding all outstanding $8,813,809 State Revolving Fund loans, SRFC 28, blah, 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 from the Mississippi Department of Environmental Equality to the city dated October 1st, 2009, prescribing the form and details of said refund bond, providing certain covenants, and so forth and so on. Steve.
Good evening, Steve Etz from Butler Snow. I'm filling in tonight for Ms. Fairbank and for your financial advisor, Steve Bittman. So I've got big shoes to fill. Before I go forward, I wanted to share with you a telephone conversation I had earlier today with a partner that Sue and I have in our Baton Rouge office, who happens to have a daughter on campus who's a sophomore. And he asked me if I would share with you his appreciation and his wife's appreciation for what you've done to keep his daughter safe this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what you have before you tonight is a resolution that authorizes the issuance of $4,575,000 of tax-exempt utility bonds, which refunds an original principal amount of $8,813,809 of state revolving fund loans. The purchaser of these bonds is Zion Bank, which is a bank actually located in Salt Lake City. The placement agent is the investment banking firm of Piper Sandler. The interest rate on these bonds is 1.36%. The original interest rate was 2.75%. So the present value savings is $137,670. I think it's interesting to note that along with the refunding of some water and sewer bonds we did a couple months ago, that over the next 10 years, you will have saved the water and sewer department $625,000.
That's great.
As I think you know, that the state requires that you cannot refund these bonds without a 2% present value savings. This is a 3.15% present value savings. We did not extend the maturity, so these bonds mature like the state revolving fund loans in 2029. The plan would be to close this transaction sometime in probably the first 2 weeks in January. The resolution authorizes the bonds, sets forth the terms of the bonds, has the form of the bonds, is almost identical to the resolution you adopted about 6 weeks ago for the previous refunding.
Okay.
And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Board have any questions?
Do not.
Here none, I'll,
Thank you for,
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
here none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
John? Somebody get John. Number 11, request permission to declare equipment surplus in the Oxford Police Department Parking Division and authorize its disposal.
Make
Matt,
a motion to approve.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
12 is first reading and proposed ordinance amending Chapter 22, Article 1 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Oxford to add an administrative fee for stop work orders.
So just as it says, this would allow us, when we go out and do a stop work, it'd be a $50 administrative fee before we would lift the stop work order.
Okay, so that's basically the first reading.
Correct.
Okay.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, we'll have the second reading in the public hearing. Thank you. Number 13 is request approval for preliminary and final plat for case number 2685, Porch View subdivision for property located at 510 North 15th Street, being further described as PPIN 6172. Parker.
Thank you. Yes, sir. The subject property is located on the east side of North 15th Street, north of Jefferson Avenue in the Jefferson-Madison Historic District. Property measures just over an acre. The parcel is largely undeveloped, but there's an existing single-story house in the northwest corner. The applicant is proposing a 3-lot, single-family residential subdivision. The proposed lots meet the lot size and dwelling unit density standards for the traditional suburban residential zoning district. At the regularly scheduled November Planning Commission meeting, Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the request for preliminary and final plat for Porch View subdivision with 6 conditions. 3 of those conditions have now been satisfied. An additional condition has been added regarding the requirement of a certificate of appropriateness from the Historic Preservation Commission for demolition of the existing house on the property. That house is currently vacant and considered a non-contributing structure. Staff and the Planning Commission recommend approval of the preliminary and final plat with the 4 conditions stated in your report.
Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Get Rick, please. Consider a change order number 4 for AS4&A construction for the North Park Pocket Park project. Mark.
Change order number 4 does not affect the contract amount of the park. It extends the deadline until December 17th. Notice proceed was signed in mid-June and slated originally to be completed November 13th. We extended it one time to account for a different pool finish, but the contractor requesting additional time for weather delays, about 17 days. We have one more change order scheduled for the next meeting, but it will not affect the time. The deadline is December 17th.
Okay.
I move we approve it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Request permission to accept a proposed, receive, and award a contract for South Lamar Roundabout Public Art Project. Art.
Okay, y'all got the memo. We placed an advertisement in October to request for proposals for a public art project on the roundabout, South Lamar and Belk. As you may recall, the funding for this project was set aside in the 2021 budget. We received 4 good proposals from qualified artists. The cost ranges estimated. The cost estimates range from around $20,000 to over $330,000. You got to see the artist conceptions in your packets, but after we reviewed them, the team selected the proposal based on the criteria that was originally advertised, and that was for Dismuth Creative. So we are seeking an approval of the proposals and permission to negotiate a contract with Dismuth Creative for the amount listed, which is $20,550. The proposal doesn't include a concrete base or lighting, so we are requesting approval an additional $9,450 for the total not to exceed amount of $30,000.
Okay.
And you can see, this is kind of his concept.
It's
And
great.
Kara wanted me to tell you that the color, we don't have to go with this red color, so.
Yeah.
All right. I hear a motion.
Yeah, I move that we approve the contract with Dismuth and the $5,000.
Okay.
The total project not to exceed 30,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right. Number 16, request permission to accept bids, receive, and award a contract for the Conference Center 161 15 kV substation additional project. Rob.
Hi, as it said, a couple weeks back, we received bids from a number of contractors. I think we had 7 or 8 bidders, as you can see from the bid tabulation, a nice turnout of bids. The low bidder was William E. Groves Construction, who's a very reputable contractor. We've got a recommendation from our engineer, Alan Hoschel, to proceed with that bid. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Consider, request permission to allow a sole source purchase for the upgrade of the SCADA system in the wastewater treatment plant. Rob?
Nailed it. So Control Systems was declared sole source for our SCADA system at the wastewater treatment plant a number of years ago. We use Control Systems only, but this purchase is over $5,000, and Bart felt it was a good idea to continue to get that sole source declaration updated for this purchase.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 18, consider a request for the Southern General Contractors LLC for the extended work hours for striping. Brianna?
Thank you. Southern General has our bid item for striping of crosswalks, and so they've asked to be able to do that work on Sunday. Apologize, the stairs got me. They want permission to work on Sundays for the crosswalk striping.
Okay.
Where are they doing it on University Avenue?
So, Bramlett, at Bramlett, they're doing it there. South Lamar, there's several down through there on University.
They won't interfere with church. Okay.
I'll make sure that they coordinate around that.
Okay.
So,
Approval?
Approval. Move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Consider renaming and readdressing of certain private streets within the annex area. Brianna?
yes. You received a list in your packet of private streets and the proposed renaming with every private street. There's a number of addresses that will have to be addressed, and most of these are for the name. Some of them also are going to have to get a new number because of the sequencing to allow for development. So if we had a long road and they started, at number 4 with a big long property between the streets, there's not enough room if they subdivide or develop. So
I'd like to live on Road Goes Away.
Yeah. Really?
So, and those are, yeah. So there were a couple of them that, the way the county addressed, if there were 2 houses, they made them name their driveway. And we're not gonna require that. So if there's 2 houses, we're gonna say you can be addressed off the main street.
Okay.
So,
Brianna, while we're doing all this change of naming streets, and I know we have another list to look at in the future, is there anything we can do to encourage or enforce people to have numbers on their houses?
it is
It's
in our ordinance.
And it's really a problem, I think, not only for emergencies, but, pizza delivery. The folks are going door to door trying to figure out where, and we have so many food deliveries now that it's really a problem.
Is the ordinance say that it has to be on the house, or can it be the mailbox or the house?
I wanna say,
It's on the house.
On the house, 4 inch, at least 4 inch.
Yeah.
And I think at one time didn't we have some funds where if senior citizens couldn't,
Senior citizens, handicapped, elderly, that if they can't afford, then we still have those funds available. We can put the numbers on.
that'd be great, yeah. So
I think we
need
probably
to,
should just remind people. I think a lot of people don't even know we have an ordinance to do it.
yeah,
and particularly in the annexed areas,
you're right.
Yep.
so.
All right.
Motion to approve the renaming roads.
Have a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. 20 is discuss the infrastructure and warranty bond of Oxford Way. Brianna?
Yes, so Oxford Way, as you may remember, they built the road in 2016. In 2018, they came to the board to request that the city accept the road. The board agreed to pending completion of the punch list, and with a stipulation that they provide a 3-year warranty bond for the asphalt, because they also wanted to complete the final lift of asphalt at that time. They were concerned about the manhole lid sticking up. And so they asked for those 2 things. The punch list has been completed. I received an email from the engineer today confirming that all of the punch list items have been completed. So that requirement has been met. So the 2 items that I asked for direction on, I just wanted to come to you and formally notify you the punch list is complete, so the acceptance would begin now. And then typically, when we accept a road, we receive a 1-year warranty bond for the infrastructure. However, the board may choose to waive that requirement considering how long that road has been in place and in use, and has had time for the things that we expect to develop over warranty. We expect to see settlement issues or collapsed pipe or things like that in that 1-year period, and we're well beyond that. So you may waive that requirement for that warranty from this date if you chose for the 1-year warranty bond for the infrastructure. And then the second item is the board stipulation for a 3-year warranty period from the time the asphalt was complete. I don't have a date. I've been trying to find one on when the asphalt was complete. I know that it was being discussed in May of 2018, and I know that it was complete by November of 2018. So somewhere in that window is when it was completed. I think it was done in the summer, but I'm not sure. But that 3-year warranty that y'all required, that bond, and we have that bond, but you may choose not to require that bond to be renewed further. That's a separate issue that the developer had asked about.
So when does the bond due?
So it's due now.
Okay.
But it would be, it wouldn't have to be, it's at most through November of next year, but it could be as early as May or June, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So it's a question of what you would like for the asphalt, for the extended warranty for the asphalt. And y'all had asked for that because they did not have everything built along the sides, and we were expecting heavy construction in that period of time, which has not happened. So I don't know that there will be, I don't know that how much. I know the cottages are starting construction. I don't know that they'll be complete in this time period or not.
I'm going to make a motion that we waive the 1-year infrastructure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
And I don't know about the other.
Well, and that's
confused on it.
How long before we would actually put our coat of asphalt down?
We typically require them to wait until 75% of the construction's built. So if it's a housing, if it's a subdivision of houses, we make them get 75% of the houses in first before we would allow them to build to do the final lift of asphalt. And it's just so that they're not tearing it up with construction equipment.
So, okay.
There's more construction.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, and this one is in a unique location because of where the road is and the lots. There are a lot of commercial and mixed use, and so it's a little different.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta talk, if I'm looking at this right, the maintenance bond for the final lift is $7,900?
Yes, that's all that we require because we only require 15%. So that is the amount of the bond that we would have.
I think we ought to keep that in place,
Okay.
not knowing when the completion date was, and if it's due now, I think we ought to, whether they extend it 9 months or a year, I mean, you're looking
Yeah, I
at
was gonna say,
$8,000.
Yeah.
Does he have to wait 3 years again to come back, or can
No.
he? Okay.
No, and this is a maintenance bond, so this will expire without board action at the end of its period. So at
Which
the
would
end
be
of that.
this time, which would be basically this time next year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark, is that a motion?
I'll
Yes.
second that.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
So let me just ask one quick question, I'm just curious. So the little subdivision up the hill from where I live, they have 5 lots, and there's 2 houses there, or whatever. So they're gonna have to build 2 more before that thing will get asphalt, done?
Or 3 years, so it's been there for 3 years, and they won't put the final bill.
Okay.
So. And I missed the beginning, but the next agenda item that was deleted or postponed, okay.
Yeah, 21 is deleted, but 21,
Okay, yeah.
move to 21, or excuse me, 20A, which is request permission for the mayor to sign a contract with Capital Recovery Systems, Inc. for the collection of delinquent municipal court fines and assessments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is consider executive session.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Board will consider executive session.